Hey again, it's me, Harkness, Nessie, Amber, Swan. So I figured today I'd encourage you to ask questions or give me requests to read. I will start with a Tolkien poem today and then read one of my myths. The Road Goes Ever On, J.R.R. Tolkien. The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it begins. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow it, if I can, pursuing it with weary feet, until it joins some larger way, where many paths and errands meet, and whither then, I cannot say. The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow it, if I can. Tolkien. And now for my myth. Artema and the Dragon. Artema was a young girl, barely in her teens when the dragon came. The dragon swooped and burned, with a fire like the hottest forge. It was a gossamer green, with eyes like glittering gems, and Artema fell in love. She threw herself out and called to the dragon. The dragon contemplated Artema, considering this human to be another meal, but then it stopped. The dragon saw in this girl a fire that burned brighter than the sun, a passion deeper than the ocean, and for the first time in its long life, the dragon saw love. The dragon landed by the girl, and together they flew off to the dragon's cave. The dragon, a bookworm of considerable knowledge, was under an evil spell. He hungered for human flesh and breathed fire that scorched his throat. He didn't enter his cave for fear of harming his books, and he was becoming more depressed every day. So Artema, seeing the dragon's sadness and loving him all the more for it, started to read to him, and the dragon became happy, finally able to hear his stories again. But the curse, as curses go, was hard to remove. Artema, saddened by the dragon's plight, delved into the books to find a way to make his curse end, and she found it. The only way for the curse to be removed was for the dragon to accidentally harm what was most dear to him. Artema was worried by this. She didn't want to see the dragon hurt his library, for he missed it so. At night his claws would twitch in memory of turning pages, and he'd murmur passages from his favorite books. Artema, deciding that harming the library was too cruel a trick to play on the dragon, spent the next 70 years of her life reading to the dragon and sleeping close to him for warmth. She smiled every day to see him, and every day the dragon became slightly sadder to see her aging, because for many years now, in fact, from the time he raided the village, Artema had been the thing most dear to him. One morning, the dragon woke up and whispered to Artema, "You are my most precious love, dear child." Artema heard this and pretended to still be asleep. She got up soon after, a plan in her mind and love in her heart. Artema knew that she was dying. In fact, she knew that she only had a month left at best. So she planned for the last act of her life, to be accidentally killed by her dragon. In this, when he lost her, he would still have the stories and he'd be able to read his books again. When Dragon came home, Artema dived under his claws as he landed, and she died. Dragon's heart broke, and he roared, but no fire came out. He sniffed the body and felt no hunger. The curse was gone. Dragon, sad and broken-hearted, entered his cave for the first time in years. On his desk was a book and a letter. Both were addressed to him. In the letter, Artema explained that she had been dying, and that she wanted Dragon to have the stories after she was gone. She explained how she had found the solution to the curse years ago, and she told Dragon how much she had loved him. Dragon cried then, and he spent the rest of his years in the cave, reading only books that Artema had never read to him, a very small selection, and the book that the woman had written him. He lived for 100 years more, and then he died of a broken heart. The end.